I'd like to welcome everyone this evening to the second regular meeting of the Northminster County School Corporation for April of 2026. Our vision is to provide inviting and challenging learning opportunities for everyone. We have a presentation this evening from Tamara Rickman, our principal at Christie Elementary School, and she will present on RISE at Christie.
Yes, thank you for letting me talk this evening. Wanted to start by saying I think last year I kind of alluded to the fact that I wanted to try something different this year at Christie to give all of our students an opportunity to be met where they are. And I feel like we do that in our classrooms very well, but this is a dedicated 30-minute block, 4 days a week that we call RISE. So it stands for Reach, Inquire, Strive, and Empower. And we have it Monday through Thursdays. And every student then gets to, they have choice, and they also have some nudging by teachers. So what this looks like is we're just meeting the needs of all of the diverse needs of our students. So academic needs, social needs, emotional needs, and then also their physical needs. So we set this up, dedicated time every day. It's very intentional what the students are going, what activity the students will go to. And when I say intentional, it might be like teacher intentional, it might be student intentional. And then it is a time where we offer supports for those that need it, and then enrichment for those who need pushed a little bit. And we also give students the time to work on those emotional skills or other skills that they would prefer to work on. Like we have some very artsy students. So there's time in that RISE time where students can elect to go to an art session where they can create art. There's time built into that RISE session for them to attend band, for them to attend choir. And then there's also time built in for STEM activities or STEAM activities. So it allows students, whatever their need is or their passion is, it gives them time throughout the week to hopefully at least get to attend one of those sessions. And but the teachers also want to make it intentional for them. So our students that need a little extra help, they need some remediation, they have the opportunity to do that, but they don't have to do it all 4 days. They can, if they are very passionate about art, they can choose art one day. And then if they need that enrichment where we need to be pushing them in the curriculum, that allows us that time to push those students even further. So that's kind of the whole premise behind RISE, is to meet all the needs of our students. So to give you some examples of like remediation, okay, that is where our teachers will just look at our overall scores, and if students need a little extra help, we might keep them for those 30 minutes to work on specific targeted skills for those students. For for enrichment, we have things built in, the STEAM or the STEM activities. We have people from Purdue Extension that come in. They work on different engineering activities. We might do planting in our greenhouse. Put in our bulletin a couple of weeks ago. One of the activities they did during RISE in the fall was plant strawberries. They got to eat the strawberries a couple of weeks ago. We had some strawberries that were ready to be picked, so the students enjoyed that. So that would be an enrichment activity that we would do during that RISE time. We also have, that time allows us to practice our VEX robotics, our Lego robotics. It also allows us time to do academic bowl practices and work on those things in math bowl practices, which without the RISE time would pull them from a normal class where they would be missing that class time. We also have a lot of teachers will do creative problem solving during that time, which will push the kids with problem solving across science, math, social studies. So it gives them just that extra push that they need. Like I said, we do partner with like Purdue Extension, but we've also reached out to community members. We have what we call the RISEC clubs, which we do, I think, in most of our buildings, but last year it was pretty haphazard in our building, so now we're focusing it more during that RISE time, and we'll have community members come in and talk to our kids about jobs, the skills that you need for certain jobs, and then also they would do demonstrations. So we've had carpenters come in, nurses have come in, firefighters, graphic designers, and they'll come in during that built-in RISE time and talk to groups of kids, and that provides that time instead of using our class time to do that. I feel like this has been great for Christine because we've been able to allow every student choice throughout the week. So it's not punitive at all. So when students have that remediation time, they just might need that 1 day a week or 2 days a week. But it's not a punishment. It's not staying at recess, and it's not due extra. It's something that everybody's going a different place according to their need or their passion. And then tomorrow it's going to look different. So they're not stuck in one group for the entire year or even the entire week. So it's working out really well. Students seem to enjoy it. I know the teachers enjoy that they have that time. So that, and a lot of them have said that, I don't have to give up writing to get a speaker, or I don't have to give writing up to have Jen Mayo come in to do a STEM activity with my kids, because it's already built in. So we really like it about that. So we feel like it supports the whole child. We're supporting them academically, emotionally. This is the time where our social workers, if they have to spend extra time with some kids, this is the time when they would do that. And again, it wouldn't be the same kid every day. So we support academically, emotionally, physically. They sometimes will do physical activities, especially for those that just need to get up and get moving in the middle of the day. And then we also support them emotionally with supports there that we need to. So we just feel like incorporating that throughout the day helps us to meet all of our students' needs. And then our fifth day, we just kind of let that be whatever the teachers need that to be. So,
is there a time of day this happens consistently?
Yeah, our lower level happens right after their lunch recess, so 12:15 to 12:45, and then our upper level meets from 12:15. Our upper level meets from 11:15 to 11:45. And we plan it that way so that we can, obviously, we don't want K through 6, not that we don't want them, but it does not make sense to put them in the same STEAM group or to put them together in the same ag group where they're doing the same thing. So we have them at different times, but it also frees up our resources. So I can use teaching assistants from lower level to work with my upper level if I need to, because they're available. It also covers lunch times for my staff, so that we have more staff available to help when needed. So, okay.
Any questions?
So is this, you mentioned, I think, the RISEC that we do at the middle school and high school.
Yep.
So this is kind of a program for them to start thinking about. You mentioned bringing other occupations in and things for them, the students to hear and see. It's not really tied together, but it's a great way to get them thinking that way, and then when they get to the middle school, they're probably at least seeing something that sounds familiar with their personality types and their thoughts on what they want to be.
Yes, and not 100% of the RISE time is for RISEC clubs.
Gotcha.
But what we were doing previous to this is we were either forgetting about RISEC or we were interrupting learning time to get it in, if that makes sense. So this allowed us to have just that 4 days a week for 30 minutes that we could put whatever we needed to in there. So part of that's the RISE Act, so it makes us intentional to bring that in, a very focused time, dedicated time, that we can do that, so.
And the other elementaries are also doing this, or are you just at this Christian?
I believe the other elementaries are doing RISE at clubs, but I think they just do it different than we do. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Superintendent Schneiders has 5 days prior to today provided each of the board members a packet of information in reference to the items on tonight's agenda. This packet is for our review and to have questions or concerns addressed. At this time, I would like to call this meeting to order with a moment of silence. Next item, roll call. Wayne Brinkman,
Present.
David Wanier,
Present.
Jennifer Rich,
Present.
Chris Flohr,
Present.
Jennifer Aldridge,
Present.
Brittany Giles.
Present.
Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the next item on the agenda is treasurer's report.
Being that we're in the second meeting of the month, the only item I have included for you is the statement of funds, which is the most recent reflection of our current funds. So if there's questions, I'll be happy to answer, but otherwise, that's all I have for the treasurer's report.
Need a motion? I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is consideration of claims.
Smaller docket this, between the last meeting to this meeting, claims totaling $266,590.29 for the vouchers, 109,167 to 109,228. If there's any questions from the board, I'd be happy to answer those. I'll make a motion to approve this list.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is personnel considerations. We have no leaves, but we do have resignations.
We have the following resignations at Chrisney. Elementary teacher Lance Robbins submits his resignation. At Nancy Hanks, social worker Nikki Nail resigns her position. And just a special, recognition regarding resignation / retirement. Mike Guth resigns his position and retires from teaching. So just special about Mike, he's going through a lot right now, and we've been thinking about him a lot and appreciate his years of service to the corporation. So if you have any questions, please ask, otherwise I recommend you accept these resignations / retirement.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is appointments.
We have the following appointments at Nancy Hanks. We are going to hire a maintenance director to replace Mr. Scott Aldridge. We'd like to recommend Jeff Schaefer to the position. For elementary teacher, the elementary administrative team recommends Heather Robinson be hired to that position. Her location right now is to be determined. Still some moving parts in the elementary landscape, so we're not sure exactly where Heather will be, but we do know we'll have the need. Summer school is coming around, so we have a recommendation for summer school teachers, Claire Brinkman and Maddie Fella to teach summer school. And those are students in grades 2 to 3. At the middle school, to replace Mrs. Shannon Ellsworth in middle school science, Shelby Miller is recommended for that position. And lastly, in the high school, guidance counselor position, Kathy Lomas is filled. We'd like to replace Kathy with Mrs. Abby Glazer. Recommend her to that position. For 2 of the appointments, a summer school teacher and a guidance counselor, Mr. Brinkman will need to abstain on those appointments. Otherwise, recommend you approve those requests.
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is other, and we have patron comments. Say anything? No. Well, then we'll move on to old business, which we have none, but we have new business.
First item under new business, North Spencer has been with Leach for a 3-year period. Again, just to increase our, our traffic on our website in terms of people who are searching the internet, et cetera. I'd like to continue that partnership. So basically, we're looking at a 3-year deal that locks in the price of $7,990 per year. I've attached the details. If there's any questions regarding this, please ask. Again, this is just kind of part of us trying to promote North Spencer and put our name on there. I think it'll go better because of our new website and that traffic we want to direct to our website, as before maybe that wasn't the case. So again, just want to continue that partnership with Leach for 3 years at the price per year I stated.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item is a Neola policy update, procedure for educating a child at home. This is our first reading. I've put that information before you for a period of time now. Essentially, it's a simple change, child taking 1 or more classes, moving that to 5 or more classes in order to participate in extracurriculars. No action needed here, just putting it before you. At the May 11th meeting, I will ask for your approval of this policy. Next item is 2627 Elementary Handbook. This is the second reading of that handbook. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Again, it's the same as what was previously used, minus some language being taken out that was not relevant. I do ask for your approval for the 2627 Elementary Handbook.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next 2 items, I'm just going to put the middle and high school together here. Again, no board action is needed. These are first readings for the middle school handbook and for the high school handbook. The one significant change that you heard about at the high school today, and I'll talk about this in the superintendent's report, is the legislative change regarding cell phones and wireless communication devices. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Otherwise, there's some small formalities in the high school. Those changes are listed on page 1 of the attachment. Again, review, please, and I'll ask for your approval to adopt at the next meeting. Next item, item F on the agenda, request to move the May 25th, 2026 board meeting. That's on Memorial Day. Traditionally, we have moved that meeting to Saturday. In this case, Saturday, May 23rd at 1 p.m. And then, of course, commencement to follow. We'll go directly to commencement after that. So do you need your approval for that, to move that meeting?
I'll make a motion to move the meeting.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Another summer camp item, this is boys tennis. Camp is going to be on July 20th through 23rd from 5 to 6:30 for incoming 5th and 9th grade boys. I request to approve that, recommend you approve that request.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Next item, field trips. So we are, it's nice to see a few less field trips, right? It seems like we've had a lot recently. So there's still approvals to be made though. So if there's any questions on that, please ask. I will note that Mrs. Rich will need to abstain on the Holiday World request, but otherwise I recommend you approve those field trips.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no professional leave, and we have use of facilities.
There are 5 facility requests. If there's questions, please ask. Otherwise, I recommend you approve those facility requests.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have superintendent's report.
I have a lot of positive items to report on. The first item is the Indiana Association of School Principals has what they call an Indiana Academic All-Star. There are 40 academic all-stars across the state, and I'm happy to report that one of our students, Evan Decker, was a recipient of that. You may have seen this on social media within the last week. They had a reception in Indianapolis for him, and I saw Mrs. Slater had gone. She was a positive influence. So it was nice to see. Evan's a great kid, and we're very happy for him. 40 kids up in the state, and he was one. That's pretty awesome. I want to report on our math bowl. That was on April 14th. One team from Lincoln Trail, Mrs. Temple's coaches that team. They were first place at the competition, and they were 5th in the state. So kudos to them. We're also proud of all the teams, of course, but Nancy Hinks in 2nd place. Their team was in 2nd place, and at Lincoln Trail, Miss Wade's team was in 3rd place. At the high school, we have the Ivy Tech Automotive Skills Contest. Hayden Coop was 1st place, Sam Rowe 3rd place, and Trey Tyree 4th place. Proud of those young men. I do want to, this is different. This is connected to iLearn and some of the testing that gets done throughout the year. The Indiana Department of Education actually has started this to where kids, of course, they can garner all that data on how kids perform. And we actually had kids nominated through the Indiana Department of Ed, 3rd graders, whose scores were basically in the top 2% percentile of scores, and basically kind of qualified for this National Math Star recognition. So I thought that was pretty cool to report. Of course, we're proud of all our kids, but just that academic excellence is important. It's good for those kids. And we don't have the names yet. We're just told that we have students in our corporation who can be recognized for that. I want to report to you, I mentioned the new website a little earlier. We're chugging right along with that. So basically right now we have the website at a place of, I would say, about 90% completion. We're finalizing some things, of course, when we go live with it. We want it to be accurate, have the information that's accurate. So we're finalizing those things. It's just a busy time of year, so we'll get to it within the next month. Principals were trained on Rooms. Remember, Rooms is that classroom communication piece that's going to replace balloons at the elementary level, and will be an added piece of how our staff at the middle high school also communicate. So those things are coming along quite nicely. Next item, I want to recognize German American Bank. They do the School Spirit Program through the little debit cards that people use, and we get a cut back. Every quarter, we get an amount from German American, and I'm happy to report that this last quarter, we received a check for $649.38. So thank you to German American for having that program and thinking of schools and supporting schools. We do appreciate it. And last, I kind of mentioned this, so it is now officially legislation that schools have a wireless communication device law that basically is a bell-to-bell ban of cell phones. So that includes passing period and that includes lunch. So currently, of course, students are not supposed to have cell phones in classrooms. Now it includes passing period and lunch. The idea of the legislation is for the cell phone to be stored away, powered off, and inaccessible during the day to students. So we will do our best to obviously comply with this, and the point is having kids be off of devices. Screen time is something that I think is coming down the pike. Some legislation on possibly screen time, looking at that and how much kids are on screens. And again, I'm for that as appropriate. So again, just the legislators getting involved in some of these things that they feel are important, that our kids are getting time away from technology.
That includes Apple Watch.
That includes Apple Watches, and there's other technical gadgets that I don't keep up with that are also included. Yep. So that'll be a big change, but it's change for all Indiana schools. And that is all for my superintendent's report.
And I make, entertain a motion to adjourn and go into executive session.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. You're welcome anytime.
I'll make stop in.
Yeah, good.
You are the Jack.
Bye.
So,